Well, hey there, friends. It's your old Papa Cheddar here, and today I got a special tutorial for you guys. We're going to be learning a little bit about traps. So we're going to be doing some animal, some drifter, and even man traps. Dun dun dun! Alrighty, well, let's get going with the first one, is the animal trap. So if you'll take a look here, what we have basically is a 7x7 hole in the ground that goes 2 deep, and in the center there, we have what essentially looks like a plus sign. So the plus sign is what's going to be luring them to you. You'll, of course, need the water in the center there just to be able to keep the crops nice and moist, so that way they don't die off. And as you guys can see, we already got a couple of bunnies hopping around in here. Also, another thing you can do the vegetables just stand alone like that, or you can slap on a berry bush, even a little trough, and even a large trough. Now, another variation you can do with the large trough, so you can also go ahead and do something like this when you're working with the large trough. Place on the top, so that way the animals just can't get to it whatsoever. And if you do that, I might even just dig this out one more little tier here. Now that way you can have some larger distance between all of the blocks. But I don't think they'd be able to get across it anyway, even if it was just the original style like this. You'd probably still be fine and they wouldn't make it to you. So yeah, this will draw in just about every single animal you can think of. It doesn't need to be too wide, so that way you can get the sheep in there as well. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that if you do have a lot of animals in here, wolves will be attracted to the animals and they will get in there and pretty much slaughter the entire, every single critter that's down inside of your hole here. So keep an eye out for wolves, but you will also be able to murder the wolves that way. Now, another way you could go about doing this if you wanted a more permanent trap so you could keep animals for raising is doing something like this. So I would recommend a 2 tall fence. Especially during winter, you're going to want 2 tall fences so your critters do not get out. But essentially what you're going to do is build a walkway so they can get up in here. They see the food in the troughs down there. They want to run in, go for the food, and then, oh no, they're trapped. They can't do anything. They can't even get out. But again, keep in mind that wolves can also access this little ramp here that we got. So they will jump over and attack and devour every single one of your animals. So as soon as you get the desired critter inside of your fenced area, whether it's sheep, pigs, or chickens, as soon as you get those captured, destroy this and block it off so that way no wolves can get inside to your brand new animal friends. All right, now let's go over the drifter trap. So this one is going to be very helpful, especially during temporal storms. And I made a little modification. You guys may have seen this already, but I did do a little modification that I think you'll find helpful. So what we have here is a 5x5 hole in the ground that goes 2 deep. And you're going to want these trap doors here because this will make the drifters try and walk over to you, thus falling into the pit. So they're pathfinding. They see this here, these 2 trap doors that are open. They see these here as being closed like this. So they think it's a bridge. So as the drifters are coming, their AI senses that there's a walkway here. They'll come in and just fall down, and then you can stand in the center here. And if you do this and you want to fight them, I would recommend having multiple spears because you will go through quite a lot of them, especially if it's during like a heavy temporal storm. So yeah, definitely come prepared. You're going to want your food, of course, and a hefty amount of spears and healing supplies. If it does end up getting a little too hairy, you can always pull up a little bit more, and that way just remove yourself entirely from the conflict. Now, it is important to keep in mind that surface drifters and nightmare drifters do have a separate, or a different reach, I should say. So where the surface drifters will not be able to hit you as they're running in through here, the nightmare drifter most definitely will. So keep an eye on those guys. So you can see here the spider webs reduce your walk speed by 0.25. So as the drifters fall in here, they're going to get stuck. They're not going to be able to move around very fast, and they're going to be easy pickings for you guys to just spear in the top of the head. Now, if you do decide to go the spider web route, it is important to note that you cannot harvest the drifters while they have corpses down here underneath the spider webs. As you guys can see, the outline of the block for the web and that little black cube there, So that will take over the entirety of your targeting zone, I guess I'll say, and you will not be able to harvest any drifters while you're up top here. Another thing, if the drifter is over, let's say in this corner over here, and you just can't reach him with the spear, you can either try crouching, go to the absolute edge of this, you won't fall off while you crouch, and then sit down. So when you're sitting down like this, you will have a much better reach as far as reaching that far bottom corner than if you were standing up. So sitting down will greatly increase your reach, as will moving off to the side of the pole as much as you can. But again, keep in mind this will make you in a closer targeting range for any other additional drifters that are looking to come over top of your trap doors here. Now, of course, you could expand this out, make it a little bit larger, maybe give yourself a larger platform in the middle. So then that would just, make maybe a 2x2 pole for you and just extend these two sides out here. Now, there's many different applications, different ways you can customize this. You can, in fact, make an entire house in the middle of a trench like this and just have it be completely drifter-proof. Now, if you're not so keen on fighting the drifters, there is another option you could do. And when fight or flight kicks in, sometimes we're going to choose flight, and that's when we have this drifter bunker. So you're going to want to dig down at least a few blocks here and put down some half slabs. So drifters will, in fact, not spawn on half slabs. And another thing you can do is also just sleep through the temporal storm in a nice bed here. And if you do it in a bunker like this, then no drifters will have spawned by the time you wake up. Well, of course, make sure you have plenty of food on hand. You can see we got some beautiful cheese here. Oh, look at that. Look at that cheese. So glorious. You know I love cheese. But yeah, so hiding out during a temporal storm is also an option. If you're on a multiplayer server and you just absolutely cannot sleep in a bed, then the half slab route will definitely help you without them spawning. And of course, it doesn't need to have a ladder into a hole. It could be above ground on a door, and a door on the side of a mountain or something, or just build yourself a little dirt hut. You can customize it however you want. Even make it out of 110% meteoric iron steel blocks of adamantite. That's why it'll be impenetrable. Impenetrable, I say. Alrighty, so did you guys want to check out the man traps? Oh yeah, me too. Let's go over there and check them out. So this idea actually came to me from a commenter on Reddit, and I messed around in the creative world quite a bit, and this was the best thing I could come up for as far as making a trap for other players. So it does have some PvP applications, but again, it's, I don't know of any PvP servers out there. I'm sure they exist. I play on a very nice friendly server that we can't really even hurt each other. So, do with this trap what you will. I am going to throw a disclaimer out there that I'm not going to be responsible for anybody, being captured, hurt, had their player die or destroyed or anything like that, stuff stolen. So, use this trap and this knowledge responsibly. Alrighty, let's check out what we got. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is dig down a nice sizable pit. I went about 4 blocks deep here, just for the little tester. You're going to want at least 3 blocks deep for this, and you can make it as wide as you want. So what we're going to do, and you will need a little escape tunnel, which you can block off later. So we're going to need doors, and we're going to need sand. So you just stack these doors here. Make sure you get them all nice and layered up. And then you're going to go above ground. You can see we got our doors looking there. We're going to place the sand. We're going to place the sand on top of the doors. All right, then you're going to come back downstairs and destroy the door. Now, this is a very important fact. So the door is too high, correct? So you can see the line right here that separates the top block of the door from the bottom. You're going to want to destroy the bottom block and the bottom block only. If you destroy the top block of the door, it's going to bring down your trap. So you're going to want to only do the bottom block. All right, we're back down here, so let's go ahead and destroy the bottoms of these doors. And remember, only the bottom. As you can see here, we now have sand above us that is just waiting to get triggered. Now, there is going to be the need for a triggering device. So if you just run and jump on this, it's not going to really do much. You got to kind of jump on it, then it will fall down. So that's not going to really be too good, especially as far as PvP applications go, because your prey, let's call them, are going to run onto that and probably just run right over it. So let me show you how we do the triggering mechanism. So what you're going to want to do is set kind of like a bait block that the other player will destroy. So you can see here we do have the doors placed down again underneath of it. That's going to hold it in place as we put down our meteoric iron block. And that's going to be tempting for other players to run in there and mine out. So you do need to place whatever block you're going to be using. You know, you could even use dirt. You could use iron ore blocks, copper, whatever. The idea is you want them to destroy the block, which will then mess with the sand's internal functions and cause it to collapse. So we place our meteoric iron block there with the doors still underneath to hold it sturdy. If we would have removed the doors before placing the block, it all would have come crumbling down. Now we destroy our doors from the bottom of the block. Alrighty, so now we got our bait block down. The player is trapped. We're going to go ahead and destroy this block, which will then trigger the sand to collapse. So you got to make the target juicy enough to draw them in and not be suspicious, oh god, about falling into a hole. And then now you have the player trapped, and of course you will have wanted to block off this little escape route for yourself. And another thing to keep in mind, this will pretty much only work if you have the trap area under a land claim, because if you don't have it land claimed, well then they're just gonna dig themselves out. And then what's the point of even having this trap, you know? Unless you're going to be standing there ready with some arrows, spears, or a bow or something like that. So if you're going to be doing this for PvP applications, definitely make sure to claim the land around your trap. That way you have them 110% trapped. However, if you're doing that, you will need to make it more than 3 deep, because there is a kind of a glitch that goes on under land claimed area, to where the player, if they do not have permission to build on that land, they can still do the jumping and set a block down trick like this. So this block will disappear for them, but if they do it fast enough and just keep jumping, they will be able to get themselves out. So if you're gonna do PvP applications, build it at least 4 deep. That way they cannot accomplish taking advantage of that glitch. Alrighty guys, well I hope you found this information helpful. Hopefully these traps work for you, whether your goal is to, farm animals, get them into your pastures for raising, or just slaughter them for their fat, protect yourself from drifters, farm temporal gears, or just kind of, fight the other players on your server in kind of a Hunger Games scenario server. I don't know what kind of ways you guys play. I'm not going to judge. I'll just give you the information. You can do with it what you will. So thank you guys for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode, please think about subscribing to the channel. Leave a like or a comment down below. And stay tuned for more vintage story information and science coming to you from Papa Cheddar. I'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, I love you. Bye.